So, another day. I was having a conversation yesterday with my trainer, and I was recalling a story that I was talking to my son about. And something I do is I like to connect dots between different experiences in life and kind of bring them into focus. So, when I used to play football, when I joined the Sharks, the Harrisburg Sharks, it was a really good experience for me, but it wasn't right off the bat. In that when I came, I was recruited to come to that team, and I was like an all-star uh, playing for like in Thunder. But when came to this team, the Sharks, I remember the first practice. It was cold. It was probably like February, and I'm like looking around, and I was like eighth on the depth chart at that position, uh, and so it was like, oh, okay, I'm not the top dog here. A lot of that had to do more with I was the new guy. Coaches didn't know me from anybody else, and everybody that was there had played for them before, either in high school or uh, they're on the Sharks previously. And so I was coming into this team, the new guy, and it's kind of like my experience right now here in Trinity. I'm the new guy, and so eventually I became one of the top guys on the team. I was able to earn my starting spot, but it wasn't easy. Yeah. And I've tried to relay that to this job. And let's say there's a top spot, but there's just top performers. On a team, there's a lot of different positions and a lot of different things. So I'm not taking a spot from anyone else. I have to prove myself. And so basically, I'm applying that experience now. It's like, okay, what are the things I had to do to earn that spot? Okay. And not the young man I used to be. I have kids now, family now, and different work life, but I had more control over my work schedule than I did maybe back then. I was a store manager, so I had to work. I put in 50 hours a week roughly, and so I remember there were a lot of nights I'd be working late sometimes till 10, 11 o'clock at night. Maybe I'd be doing inventory, get done at midnight. I go to the gym. I'd be on the way home, and so I'd be working out from like midnight till 1, head out the sheets, get like a sandwich, kind of post workout meal, 2 in the morning, start my day over. But I'd be posting about it, talking about it. I'm out here grinding, I'm out here doing what I need to do, lifting heavy weights, blah, blah. And I knew doing that, A, I would get stronger and be more competitive against anybody on that field. And I knew that was always a differentiation point for me. Um, a lot of players didn't lift, and so I easily handled them. And then when it came up to skill levels, it was like since I worked out, I wasn't even just lifting. I was doing all kinds of things. I was running, I was doing Zumba, I was doing yoga, I was doing all kinds of things. So flexibility and quickness was always a big thing. And so I would do that. Um, and so I think about this job and what am I putting into it? And there's some days I'm like really in. And then there's other days I kind of get discouraged. More to do with like how am I feeling about the day, the interactions I'm having with people at the door. You know, I'm trying to be friendly, and when people are just like straight up unfriendly when they open the door, it doesn't hurt my feelings, but it just kind of like it affects your mood, you know? So it is what it is. And so I'm trying to like, how do I apply this mindset, this shark mindset? And one of my coaches, Corey Jett, he really was a helpful coach, and I learned a lot of lessons from him. And the one thing is, don't get too high, don't get too low. And in football or any sport, you get a big lead, you got to keep playing like you don't have a big lead. And when you get really far behind, you got to keep playing like you're not really far behind. Okay, so you can't let those emotions beat you up. You have to kind of like, as much as you can, stay in the middle. It's going to affect you, no doubt. But you have to like work through that feeling. So that's the that's the lesson for today. I'm trying to just work through not feeling low and try to be more consistent with just not getting too low and not getting too high.